Welcome back, everybody. My name's APrater54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesney Park Slowpokes and owner of STA, Soul Do Association, and this is our Season 6 draft scores for the Latias division, which is the upload optional version of Latios. So each coach in this has the option of recording and uploading if they want to. They will be included in the watch along. We'll do our best to have those not stretch into like 2 hours doing everybody's content because there's divisions total. But way we're grading this is out of 25 points, 0 to 5 for each of the following categories, just like Latios. We have Prio, Speed, Removal, Momentum, Hazards, and the total. Miscalifion was our first of 16 coaches. And they went on one Iron Valiant and immediately just got ripped apart. I believe he had a lot of snipes, so he just made the team work as he went. But he got Terra Ogre Pawn, which is interesting. Hold an item, can run AV, can do whatever it needs to. And be able to Terra Grass, which is amazing. Then he's got Hammerot. He's got free spikes. He's got Excadrill, he's got Aloe, he's got Glowbro, he's got a mini regen core. He's got double levitate between Terra Rotom Fan and Cryogonal. And then he's got Porygon Z and the Entei with extreme speed. All in all, pretty good. We also have to factor in that Quick Claw is not banned, so Slowbro can become its own form of mini priority that isn't actually priority, so it works in Psychic Terrain. That is also something to factor. But when we look at the speed tiers, we have 116, 110, 105, 100, 90, 88, 86, 85, 65, and 70. I would love to see something above 116, but you also have the body aspect, boosting speed. You have Excadrill having the option of running sand if it needs to. Glowbro can set Trick Room, but it doesn't really benefit anything besides the Glowbro. And you have booster speed, Iron Valiant. All in all, pretty decent. What kills it for me is that 85 to 65 and then 30 drop. This team is incredibly prone to Trick Rooms, so that is very detrimental to it. But it also does have priority to make up for that, because you have Vacuum Wave and Shadow Sneak on the Iron Valiant, Extreme Speed on the Entei. You have Aqua Jet on the Alomola. You have Quick Draw on the Slowbro. You have Aqua Jet on the Samurott. And you have Quick Attack on the Ogre. All in all, that is phenomenal. That is very phenomenal priority. And then we look at the removal. It's good removal, but also questionable at the same time. But in SV, there's very limited defoggers, so that kind of puts you as a hindrance. But you have two reliable rapid spinners. Ghost types are not going to want to switch in on an Excadrill potentially clicking EQ and they just die. Or trying to spin block and now an Excadrill sets Sandstorm, now they're just getting absolutely obliterated in the sand. All in all, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Reliable. If it's reliable, it's going to be high points. But if it's reliable and you have defog, it's going to be top. That's all I can say on this. If it's reliable in both, it's going to be top points. Momentum is U-turn, Volt Switch, Baton Pass, Flip Turn, and Parting Shots broken. All in all, that is pretty good. And then we got hazards. You have free spikes on the Samurott, Stealth Rock, and everything else. I would have loved to see T-Spikes and Webs on this team, but they just realistically couldn't fit it. But it's fine. They still have sharpness boosted Ceaseless Edge, setting Spikes as a massive support for the team. But all in all, that's not bad. Pretty decent score on the team. And we will hop on into the next one. Next one is my wife's team. You know how I said that a team does... There are teams at the beginning that will not... Well, did I mention this one? No, that was the first recording. None of the teams are bad. There are some teams that are going to do minimal hazards or absolutely no removal period that are absolutely correct. My wife's team is one of them. You have double extreme speed, you have Aqua Jet, you have quick attack, you have quick attack, you have Aqua Jet again on the Walking Wake, and you have Aqua Jet on the Dragonite, and you have Baneful Burning Bulwark to just punish physical attackers as a priority protect. Is just ridiculous. So all in all, this team, it's a Sun team on paper, but it has fluctuations. But anyways, we need to get into depth on the team. There's Gouging Fire, Dragonites, Raikou, Azu, Ninetales, Leafeon, Mudsdale, Walking Wake, Terra, Flareon, and Open Terra Iron Moth. She got sniped of Iron Crown, round 9. And she looked, I was talking to her, I'm like, your best options are Terra Iron Moth, Terra Lilligant for Defog, or Terra Cinderace for Court Change, and to just be annoying. She went question mark, and I explained what each one of them does. And the winning factor with Terra Iron Moth is because it can be booster speed or booster special attack, Fiery Dance, and Sun with Terra Fire. Hello, it is now Charizard. It is now Charizard because the booster special attack. That stays even if Sun goes away if they run booster energy on top of that. But Iron Moth has a nice little niche spot of 110 speed where you can run the booster speed. Same with Wake. So now that's a free choice scarf on either of those. So her team does have considerable amount of speed to it. Her technical fastest mon on its own is Raikou with 115. But then you look at Iron Moth, Wake, Leafeon with Chlorophyll, Booster Energy, Speed, Gouging Fire, Dragon Dance, a Dragonite. That is a lot to deal with. So, on paper, it's not immediately the fastest, but it can literally set up once. And if you don't have Unaware, Roar, or Focus Sash, this team can be an absolute problem. And the reason why the team doesn't necessarily need removal is because there's no item clause, so Boots exists. Okay? You're not going to care. But what makes this nasty is Gouging Fire just hits so damn hard in Sun. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Moth hits so hard in Sun. Wake hits so hard in Sun. And I honestly want to see what they do. On if you guys haven't noticed, on your team page, it also lists your schedules. They got lucky. They don't have to have a Sun versus Sun match on their schedule. We'll get into that team later, but it's definitely interesting. But as far as removal, goose egg, because there is none. Unless you factor in Copycat. If they can copycat Rapid Spin or Defog, they can remove. But that is not consistent, so it would be 0 for removal. Speed is going to be very good. Priority is where this team excels. You have double E speed, Aquajet, 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 Quick Attack, very, very good. And then you look at momentum. You have triple baton pass, you have flip turn, you have volt switch, and you have U-turn, all on mons that are consistent. Consistency is key. And then what hurts them here is their hazards, but my wife has a play style of smack you, ask questions later. The only time she will run hazards is if she knows for sure you are going to be stuck running a focus sash. That's it. But you have T-Spikes and Iron Moth, which is a gamble in its own way, and Rocks, so at least she has something. Granted, I'm going to reiterate this. Some of these scores are going to be low, but that does not define the team. This team not having removal is what hurts it, but you also have to set up the hazards without dying. It forces sashes or being able to resist what's going to one-hit KO you. So this team in no way is bad at all. This suits her playstyle. Like, okay, defog and rapid spin are moves she's never going to click unless she needs the speed boost. Let's put it that way. Hazards, she's only going to click if she needs them. This could be one of our lowest scoring teams, but one of the most explosive we have. These points mean nothing. Next, we're going to hop on into J Fucka. This one is definitely interesting. So, yeah, I feel bad. I'll explain it later. My wife has this on here, but later on in her schedule, she also has to deal with the other version. Oh, I'm going to say this now. My wife's schedule is back-to-back Slowking Galar, Slowking. She's going to hate it here. And I just realized that just looking at it, which is ridiculous. But J Fucka is definitely an interesting team. We have Dragapult, Slowking, Hoopa Unbound, Landorus, Scizor, Pheasantdippy, Hitmonlee, Indeedee, Sand/Alola, and Bombardier. Or however they say it. Bombardier. I know, it has so many pronunciations, it's hilarious. Parting Shot and Teleport are broken on this again. But for some reason, when the SV docs, the Nat Dex switched over to SV Paldea Dex, it just bugged out with these two. But we're going to look at these speed tiers. Sweet Jesus. 142 down to 101. Don't let that mislead you. Because you have a Trick Room Slowking with Chilly Reception into Terra Hoopa Unbound. In Psychic Terrain. Clicking, Expanding Force. Hoopa's speed is in that soft spot where he can run no speed at all and underspeed Scizor. Can run a lot of speed, Scarf, and outpace mons like Iron Valiant and what's Talonflame because of base 80. So it's in that nice little sweet spot. Then you've got Tailwind from the Bombardier, and you've got the Indeedee and Hitmonlee on Burden. So the speed is almost damn near perfect. If they had a sweet spot of like a 110 or a 115 mon, this would be a perfect 5. but I'm going to have to give them a 4 on this. It goes both ways. It's just lacking a faster offensive mon besides Lando and Polt that can absolutely break away a team without forcing Scarf. But either way, it's still going to be incredibly annoying. Priority, there is minimal on this team for a reason. Well, they do have it, but it also is a double-edged sword with the Indeedee. You've got Mach Buttons, Bullet Punch, Fake Out, I believe, on the Hitmonchan, Sucker Punch and Dragapult. You've got Bullet Punch on Scizor, Quick Attack on the Pheasantipity, Sucker Punch on the Bombardier, and you've got Ice Shard on the Alolan Sandslash. It does not have to run Psychic Terrain. We can clarify that. This can run Snow with Weather Ball, Lando, Beatdown with Choice Scarf, Hoopa, and Alolan Sandslash just absolutely body bagging. But this is a phenomenal team with priority. This is also anti-priority. Removal, Defog, and 2 reliable spinners. That is also going to be exceptional points. Granted, having Hitmonlee be the rapid spinner is both hurtful and beneficial because it doesn't want ghost types come in on it naturally, but it does get knockoff. But being able to spam Defog is absolutely amazing and have reliable. Now, if they were faster mons with removal, 500%. Then we look at momentum. We have 5 U-turn, 3 baton pass. Holy crap. Would have loved to see a Volt Switcher here. This team has no electric type, so that is kind of a hindrance. Doesn't have the flip turn either. There's a lot of U-turn, but that leaves you prone to walking into Static and Flame Body. So that is both good and bad. And then we look at the hazards. I did not know Bombardier got Stealth Box, but that's definitely interesting. We got a decent amount in hazards as well. But would have loved to see T-Spikes or a second Spiker besides Sandslash. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Bear with me. But all in all, that's a good team. We are going to hop on into team number 4, which is Lionel, aka Richie, if it'll load. Richie was incredibly happy that we on-banned Annihilate from Terra, but then decided he's not going to Terra it. He's just going to leave it base as what he is, because he ended up getting Jolteon and Inteleon later on, which is not a bad play at all. You've got 2 incredibly fast Terras with their own momentum, one with Voltage Orb, and you've got one with crit chances with Sniper. Absolutely amazing. But he has Annihilate. He has Blood Moon, which is a huge threat to Annihilate. You got Glamora. You have Serena, Grimmsnarl, Skarmory, Hisuian Zoroark, which can be disguised as a Annihilate or as a Blood Moon and completely play absolute disgusting mind games with your opponent. They could go for a Shadow Ball on Annihilate and it's immune. That is absolutely disgusting. Then it gets access to Calm Mind. It can bluff itself as the Blood Moon. Jolteon's here, you got Inteleon, and you have Dusclops for when you need to status cripple your opponent down. Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, gets access to Poltergeist. A lot of decent utility, access to like Trick Room if it needs to be slower, access to Shadow Sneak to pick stuff off. Oh no, that's very good. Then we look at his speed tiers. 130, 120, 110, 90, 86, 72, 70, 60, 52, and 25. There is one teeny tiny flaw in this team. This team has this gap between 110 and 90 that can be taken advantage of, but that also can be fixed simply by the speed of the mons above it. But all in all, very good. It's not a perfect 5, but it is still a pretty strong speed. Priority is where this team gets interesting. We have Vacuum Wave Annihilate. We have Vacuum Wave Blood Moon. We have Sucker Punch on the Grimmsnarl, Prankster T-Wave. You've got Aqua Jet and Ice Shard on the Inteleon. You've got Shadow Sneak on the Hisuian Zoroark. You've got Quick Attack on the Jolteon. That is pretty nasty. So far, all 4 teams shown have had excellent priority. And here's where the removal gets interesting. Unless it is a Steel type, Mortal Spin will work. And it removes hazards. And it poisons the opponent. It gets blocked by Corrosion, but it can poison mons like Toxapeck, which is absolutely good. Like, Steel being able to resist Mortal Spin is pretty good. But then you have Serena, a reliable Rapid Spinner and priority move blocker. All in all, very, very good. Momentum is where this gets interesting. Quad U-turn, Volt Switch, you get double Baton Pass and Flip Turn. That is absolutely very, very good. That is good momentum. And then hazards. You have one of the best hazard setters in the game. With a Blood Moon and an Annihilate sitting behind it in Glamora. You have triple Stealth Rocks, 2 Spikes, and 1 Toxic Spike. The only thing that would have made this team even better is a Sticky Web setter, but it doesn't need it. Because you've got Tailwind, you've got Trick Room, you've got Status Cripple with T-Wave. All in all, very, very good. We are going to hop on into the next team. I'm trying to speed up a little bit before I lose my voice. Why'd I do that? It was supposed to go to the next slide. Alright. This is Lugia's first ever draft. So this is definitely an interesting team, especially for somebody drafting for the first time. Like, look at this. 125, 110, 102, 100, 85, 75, 65. Ditto is asterisk, can be anything. Apple, Diplin, and Vikavolt. The team itself is already fast on its own, and you have the Aqua Stick capabilities. You have Garchomp with Scale Shot. You have Scarf Jirachi Beatdown. You have Armorus with weak armor getting procced on a physical move. Now it's overrunning you. They have access to Sticky Webs. And the team is naturally fast. Very, very good. Very good, Lugia. And then we get to a different, interesting topic. The removal is Rapid Spin. But there's another asterisk there, because what Ditto can do is steal your opponent's removal and use it against them. So technically, it's more than just Quackable. Even though Quackable is pretty reliable and it can run spin for that. But this team does not have to worry that much about hazards because of it can run a lot of boots. But what makes this interesting is you look at the hazards here. You have 2 rockers, a spike setter, a T-spike setter, and webs. That is very, very good. Webs is phenomenal for this team. I don't know if any of you have ever had to deal with Jirachi behind webs, but it's absolutely annoying. Because if you run Covert Cloak to stop flinch, you cannot run boots to stop the speed drop. Well, now Jirachi is punching you in the face because it can, or it can U-turn out. It can make that read to see if you are cloak. Duck, dip, dive, dodge its way out. Serene Grace is just nasty. Another phenomenal thing is look at the momentum on this team. You got Flip Turn. You have 5 baton passers. You have Volt Switch. You have double U-turn. Very, very good. And whatever Ditto can take. Like, Ditto is an asterisk that very much helps this team. But here's where this gets interesting is the priority. You have Sucker Punch on Gengar. You have Ice Shard on Weavile. You have Aqua Jet on the Quackable. And then I believe Sucker Punch on the Diplin. I cannot remember if Umbreon gets Sucker Punch this gen. But all in all, that is very decent, very consistent. God, a lot of these teams are scoring about the same. This is going to be interesting to place. But all in all, Lugia, phenomenal team for your first draft. Be proud of this. You're going to have a lot of fun. Especially if you're able to, like, set Psychic Terrain manually with the Armorers. Take a hit to your, well, physical hit, tank it. Well, now you've got weak armor plus expanding force and terrain. Is just nasty. I want to see what you can do with this. And have fun. Next, we're going to hop into Grundy, who's a returning coach, if his team will load. Oh my god, where do I start with this cracked team? Oh my. So, the only thing that I wish this team had was a manual rain setter for Overquill, but that is besides the point. You do not need rain specifically for Quill because of Intimidate. It can do everything it needs to without it because of Scale Shot. So that is still a phenomenal mon. You got Speed Booster Iron Treads. You've got Scarf Latios, Tailwind Latios, Calm Mind, Agility Latios. You got Ogerpon here with Ivy Cudgel that you need a Steel type to resist, otherwise it just smacks you. A lot of fighting types do not want to just switch into this thing because of play rough. And then you've got, oh, and Ivy Cudgel doesn't make contact, so it doesn't have to worry about Flame Body, Static, or Gooey. But he has Terra Captain Infernape. He's got Zapdos, Melodic, Gardevoir, Overquill. He's got Motor Drive, Terra Captain, Electivire, and just a little Duskull. Just a tiny little Duskull. So, you know how I was mentioning that I wish there was a immediate rain setter like Drizzle? Well, this team gets access to Rain Dance in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 mons get Rain Dance. So you can actually set Rain Dance for the Overquill late game and abuse over the top. That is amazing. These speed tiers are deceptive. Like I said, you've got Motor Drive proc you can get to raise this base 95 up. You have potential Swift Slim you can run. You have Tailwind. You have Trailblaze. You have Speed Booster Iron Treads. You have Trick Room Gardevoir. The only issue is look at this. Look at all this speed. And then 80 down to 25. Duskull is going to be your trick, like the only thing that underspeeds everything in Trick Room. So that is a hindrance. It's incredibly, don't get me wrong, it's a fast team. But what cripples it is that 80 and below. A good Trick Room team's going to absolutely plaster this. But they also have to survive hits to be able to get the Trick Room up. So it's that one. This team's a little iffy to score. The only other issue is, well, it's not really an issue. It's still decent. Your removal is Iron Treads, which is just rapid spin. This team needs a defogger, but this team also has heavy hazard set up, so that's not really a bad trade-off. You got 2 rockers, 2 spikers, and T-Spiker, and then one of them just refuses to die if it's Intimidate. But here's where this team gets absolutely interesting. You look at the momentum. 3 reliable U-turners, 3 reliable Volt Switchers, 2 reliable Baton Passers, and 2 reliable Flip Turners. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then a priority is also where this team gets interesting. You have Aquajet Overquill, Mach Punch Infernape, Shadow Sneak, and Vacuum Wave Gardevoir. That is definitely interesting. It needs a little bit more, but this team does not need it unless it's in Trick Room. That's the only time. But they have to get the Trick Room up in order to do that. But we are going to hop on into Calydude. If it'll load. The dock can be a little slow sometimes. Just gotta be patient. Alright, so this was the interesting team of the draft. This is anti-weather. The reason why I say that is because they have Venusaur Great Tusk, they have Vaporeon for rain, they have Clodsire for rain, and then where it gets interesting is you've got the Sableye here that can set Sunny Day or Rain Dance and screens for the Venusaur and the Great Tusk. Or it can set Rain Dance to boost the Prim and the Vaporeon and make the Clodsire hit a little harder with water moves and be water absorbed the whole time. And you have the fire damage for Gordongo, limiting its weakness to ground and dark and ghost. It's definitely interesting. You can just bring Gordongo in on a fire type, click Nasty Pot, and have some fun. Calydude did this for shenanigans. I absolutely respect it. Especially the last round Ambipom. This team is definitely interesting, and I want to really see what this does. Having dual water and have one of them be part fairy is definitely interesting. Pray that people need to be thankful that if my budget was 1 point higher, this man would have gotten Vaporeon and Terra Jirachi again and coasted his way to semifinals. Again. Sorry, 2 finals. Again. Because Serene Grace plus Vaporeon is just absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to look at the speed tiers here. We've got 115, 110, 87, 86, 84, 80, 65, 60, 50, and 20. That is pretty decent. But you also have the option of Manual Sun, have the Venusaur, and have Great Tusk booster speed. So it's not exactly good. It's not exactly bad. It's like right there where it needs to be. That 110 to 87 drop off really hurts it, but this team is not susceptible to Trick Room. Seeing the bug on Great Tusk be parting shot is hilarious. Priority, we have Sucker Punch, we have Shadow Sneak, we have Fake Out, we have Quick Attack on Ambipom, we have Quick Attack on Vaporeon, we have Aqua Jet on the Primarina. Not bad. Not bad. It's at least a 3. At least some. Removal, you just have Great Tusk. That can be a hindrance or a detriment to this team. It is a reliable removal, so it's not going to get a 2, but it's also not the best because you're forcing great tests to come every game. Momentum is where this team gets interesting as well. You got U-turn, you got volt switch, you got triple baton pass and double flip turn. Not bad. Not bad at all. And the removals is where this team gets interesting the hazards. This forces Clodsire to come, and this forces Great Tusk to be a Stealth Rocker, because Clodsire can't do everything on its own. So that is definitely going to be a little bit of a hindrance. All in all, still a good team. I want to see what it can do. But we are going to hop on into the second half now with Ralder. Ralder dropped for Cinderace and Grace and for Hisui and Lilligant, and then decided to make Chimecho a Terra Captain so they can have Terra Raging Bolt. They originally were Terra Whimsicott, Terra Gyarados, but this overall makes this team phenomenal. Yeah, 119, 116, 100, 110, 105, 80, 75. You've got 65, 39, 33, and 20. Bat 33 to 20 is perfect for Trick Room. Chimecho can set Trick Room and be very good for the other ones as well. So is Bronzong. Having Heat-Proof Bronzong in Sun is very good. Having Eruption is good. Having Gastrodon to have Storm Drain is very good for when Sun's not in effect. You can block for Torkoal. Having Grass, the Bronzong, the Torkoal, the Lilligant, the Whimsicott, the Cinderace, and the Raging Bolt all resist. Grass is perfect for the Gastrodon. Like, synergy is very on point. But what makes this team scary is you have double chlorophyll. You have booster speed potential, Raging Bolts. But you also have the Trick Room factor. Granted, is it enough to give a full 5? If it wasn't for that 105 to 80, it'd be perfect. If there was a 90-point Mon in the middle of that, it'd be perfect. But the speed tiers actually work perfectly for what the team needs. You have just enough speed to underspeed in Trick Room and enough speed to overspeed things with Scarf. All in all, not bad. Not bad. Then we look at removal. We have Quark Chain Cinderace. We have Rapid Spin. And we have Defog on Lilligant. Granted, you are sacking yourself in Sun to click Defog, but Torkoal is reliable. Court Change is reliable. Nothing is more disrespectful than being hazard stacked and then Cinderace says, nah, take these back. That is just nasty. Priority is where this gets interesting. You have Prankster status moves in Whimsicott. You have a Cell Rock in Lycanroc. You have Ice Shot and Mamoswine, Thunderclap and Raging Bolt, Vacuum Wave and Upper Hand in the Lilligant Hisui. You've got Sucker Punch in Cinderace. That is just absolutely amazing. And then Momentum is where this... Momentum is probably going to be their lowest. Their lowest thing on here, because it's just double baton pass, U-turn, and the volt switch. But those are pretty common for a Sun team. But all in all, not a very bad team at all. Actually, rather scary. And my wife better count her blessings that she does not have to face this, because this would have been absolute chaos between her Sun team and this Sun team. Especially the Mamoswine alone would kill all of her 3 dragons. Like, outright. But all in all, a very, very good team. We still have to get a team yet to break 20, but we've had some come close. But next, we are going to hop on into Dinkix. This is my wife's week 1 opponent. And the other Slowking team I was talking about, this has Slowking Galar. Look at this. You have Chili Recept and Slowking Galar into Baxcalibur, and there's a Pocket Greninja. There's Donphan, one of the most reliable spinners in the game. Tinkaton, a hazard and support menace. Terra Hoopa. You got Moltres, which is flame body annoyance. You have Belly Bolt, which is parabolic charge annoyance with toxic and slack off. You have Zarude that gets jungle healing, Trailblaze knockoff. This gen. And then you have Terra Captain Con Kelder. But this is where this team is definitely interesting. Look at these speed tiers. The only imperfection here is this 105 to 122. There's a soft spot here that people can take advantage of. But then you have 105, 94, 90, 87, 70, 50, 45, 50, 30. This team can fluctuate as Trick Room and just pure hyper offense behind T-Wave and Rock Tinkaton with Flame Body chance on the Moltres to punish physical attackers. Belly Bolt gets static. This team forces protective pads, and when you force protective pads, they are prone to hazards, which definitely come in play with this team. Phenomenal hazard setters, phenomenal speed tiers, except for that little gap. Removal is you got Defog and Conkeldurr and Rapid Spin. That is both reliable but not overly the best. You're not going to want to click Defog unless you have to on a Conkeldurr if it's your Terra Captain. Momentum gets interesting. It's triple U-turn, a Volt Switcher, and that's about it. That's pretty decent. Hazards is dual Stealth Rocks spikes and double T-spikes. That is also good as well. But priority is where this team gets interesting. You have Water Shuriken, Ice Shard, Fake Out, Mach Punch, and Ice Shard again. Oh no, that is pretty decent. You got Ice Shard, Baxcalibur, Water Shuriken, Greninja, which can get Battle Bond, which can auto sweep late game, which is a huge threat. Ice Shard to do chip damage on the... Oh no. That is very, very decent on that. And we are going to hop on into the next team. I am struggling right now, voice-wise. I am sorry, but we are going to hop on into Lucario Man. This one's definitely interesting. He gave me choices as left picks and told me coin toss. Okay. So he ended up with a Rabombe as a result of a coin toss. And I think he made Grace trades, but one was like between Incineroar and another mon. But let me pull it up real quick. I'm just going to... Let me see what they did. They dropped Noivern, Incineroar, Reverum, and Volcanion for Kira, Mesprit, Skeledurge, and Alolan Doug trio. Not bad. Not bad at all. Granted, it's not the bulkiest team in the world, but for what it needs to do, this team is phenomenal. You've got one of the most reliable defoggers outside of being taunted in Corviknight and a good rapid spinner. So all in all, that is very good. Momentum is absolutely amazing on this team. You've got 6 U-turners. Half of them are specials, so that does not care about flame body or static. You got volt switch, you got double baton pass, and flip turn. Very, very good. But the speed tiers is what makes this interesting. This is one of those where 124 down to 110 doesn't really matter as much, because if you look at the whole rest of the team, you got 125, 124, 110, 100, 97, 95, 92, 80, 67, and 66. Granted, a good Trick Room setter can hurt you, but they also have to deal with Terra low kicks coming in and absolutely ripping that to shreds. So Trick Room is not a reliable answer versus team. They also have sticky webs to punish you that way. So you don't have to run banded low kicks now. You can run it behind the webs and not be not be forced into scarf and plaster. Skeletors is in that nice little speed pocket where at -1 it can outspeed things if it's offensive. All in all, that is very good. They've got Urshifu single that's forcing a team to bring their fairy, which low kicks can punch through with tinted lens easily and 2-shot, which is just absolutely detrimental. Flash Cannon and Kirim can punch through fairies. The Tentacle punches through fairies. Double Steel type punches through fairies. So Urshifu single strike should realistically have a field day here. Priority is where this gets interesting. You have Sucker Punch on the Urshifu single. You have Sucker Punch, First Impression, Feint on the low kicks. You have Sucker Punch on the Lowland Dog Trio. All in all, that is very good. And Hazards is where this team kind of struggles, because you do have sticky webs, but you have a Lowland Dog Trio that has to come for rocks. You have a Mesprit forced to the rocks, and you have T-Spikes forced onto Tentacruel if you want to set those. Don't get me wrong, it is good. It's just having one Mon that would have functionated to have all of those would have been phenomenal. But this team is going to excel most when it's not going hazard heavy. If it just punches you in the face, it forces you out into rocks, the team's already done its job, because things are going to be scared of low kicks. Forces protect. Low kicks, clicks SD. Now the game can be over if it just spams Sucker Punch into you. And if you have Protect again, trying to draw out the Sucker Punch, you have Feint to punch through the Protect. Which all in all is very good. But we are going to hop on into the next team. We have KC. I just wish it would load right away. Also, not trying to keep you guys here longer than an hour, so I really want to pick this up. Alright, this is Bulk City. But this is Bulk City with interesting speed tiers. Alright, you can see the team above as I go through the speed tiers. What we got is 126, 111, 110, 91, 80, 78, 70, 65, 50, and 45. That is definitely interesting. This team is not susceptible to Trick Room, and if they do, you have Encore galore on this team to lock you out. You have Reliable Witch Pass. You have Parting Shot on Grafii to lower stats for the other mons coming in. Metagross doesn't care about sticky webs. Lando just comes in, intimidates you down. It lost rock polish, but it can still be a massive threat with terra ground blowing through you. And then this team also forces a steel or a fairy to come. Okay, I have a Metagross, a Lando, and a Tinglu, and an Iron Hands. What fairy or steel type wants to come realistically versus this team? There's also another factor. You have Shell Smash, Blastoise. You have Tailwind, Talonflame. You can just override your opponent. I don't want to deal with an Iron Hands in Tailwind. I don't know about you, but that just sounds absolutely disgusting. Removal is Rapid Spin, Blastoise. We have Defog, Talonflame. Very, very good. Very reliable. Unless they have a Golden Go and you're running Boots, Defog gets off no matter what, unless your opponent sacks themselves on their side, preventing the Defog. But as long as you're full HP, that works. Then we got priority on this team. We have Fake Out, Iron Hands. We've got Aqua Jet, Blastoise. We have any prankster move on Grafai. We've got Fake Out. We've got Copycat on that guy. We've got Ice Shard on Glaceon, Quick Attack. We have any flying move on the Talonflame. All in all, very, very good. Prio-wise, momentum-wise is where this gets interesting. It's got Parting Shot. It's got Triple U-Turn, Volt Switch, Triple Baton, Flip Turn. All in all, very, very good. And hazards, even though it doesn't have T-Spikes or Sticky Webs, these are still decent, reliable setters. And we are going to give him a score of that. If he had a T-Spiked setter, he would be 1 point higher. That's the only issue. I wish Grafia got T-Spikes, but it doesn't. Beggars can't be choosers. But what a team, KC. What a team. Then we pop into one of our defending champions from previous seasons, returning back to us in Frobe. He won Season 4. But look at this team. This is Regen Sneasler Beatdown. Granted, it's not the bulkiest thing in the world or the fastest thing in the world. Well, it is fast, you get what I'm saying. But this team is susceptible to Trick Room. That is the only hindrance to it. I don't know whether to give this team a 3 or a 4, because look at this. You got 121, 121, 120, 110, 100, 98, 86, 85, 75, and 40. The problem is a good Trick Room setter can absolutely cripple this team. So, as much as I want to give this a 4, I'm leaning towards a 3 because of the Trick Room. A reliable Trick Room setter can buckle this. But I'm going to give it benefit of the doubt. Removal is also where this gets interesting. You have 2 reliable spinners, but you don't have defog. So we're just going to do that. Priority. We've got Fake Out. We've got Quick Attack on the... What are you? Cyclozar. We've got Grassy Glide, Rillaboom. We've got Aqua Jet on Basculin, which can be any of them. It can be White Stripe with an Eviolite too. We've got Ice Shard on Frostlass. All in all, that is very good. And then we look at momentum. We've got Quad U-Turn, Double Volt Switch, Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. All very, very good. Here's where it gets iffy. What hurts this team is what the setters are. Fortress is going to want to be there as reliable removal to take the pressure off of the cycles are. But in the right hands, Fortress just sets up hazards and stacks insanely. So this is both good and bad. So I'm going to meet in the middle ground with this because he also has the T spikes and the spikes from the Frostless and the Sneasler. So we're going to score odds that all in all, still a very good team. Just needs a tiny bit more bulk so it doesn't have to rely on regen wear down. But this suits Frob's playstyle to a T. He had a team similar to this, and I believe in no Terra, and almost went undefeated in the regular season. Let's see what he can do when he can Terra. That in turn, T is one of the highest point Terra captain besides Raging Bolt that can Terra. So that is going to be interesting. Alright, we've got Pitch. Pitch, I believe, is also a newer person to draft. So this is Rain Beatdown. So this is definitely an interesting team. As you guys look at the mons on your screen, I'm just going to quickly go through the speed tiers real quick. We have Superior, which is 113, 108, 100, 95, is 85, 78. That is the male Basket Legion, for people that want to know. 65, 65, 62. Huh. Arctobax is faster than you think it is. And King Gambit at 50. All in all, this is definitely an interesting team. This is one-dimensional. Week 5 is going to be interesting versus my wife. Against Shimami. But we'll see how that goes. Like, he's also got Router on his schedule too. So he faces both Sun teams, which is absolute insanity. But this definitely is interesting. He should be thankful right now that he does not have to play Frob's Rillaboom, or else he would be in absolute trouble right now, because he would get plastered by that. But all in all, Terra Gal and Terra Basculin Legion is really good. The speed tiers are really good. You've got a Swift Swimmer, you got Palafin. It's definitely an interesting team. I wish the speed was a tiny bit better. Maybe if he had a second Swift Swimmer that could take advantage of it. The only way this team would have been perfect is if he would have gotten Overquill before Casey. Or whoever had Overquill. I think it was... Who had... Grunt. If he would have gotten Overquill instead of Grundy, this team would be absolutely amazing. Because you need that actual grounded poison type, so you can actually absorb the T-Spikes to take the pressure off of your solo rapid spinner of Quaxwell. This is a phenomenal team when it comes to priority. You have Aquajet, Sucker Punch, Aquajet again, all boosted by Rain. King Gambit has nothing to sleep on. The team starts falling. King Gambit gets boosted with Sucker Punch and starts reverse sweeping. You cry, you bicker, you pray, but at least it's not Gen 8 where it has Rock Polish on Bisharp. Momentum, it's definitely interesting. We have double U-turn, Volt Switch, double Baton Pass, and 3 Flip Turn. Because that is in Rain boosted, I'm going to give his momentum a little bit of boost and points. But then we look at the Stealth Rockers. We have one that does the same 3 things, and if it does that before Rain comes up, it's done its job. We're going to give that the benefit of the doubt. And we're going to go, because it has webs as well, we're going to give it that. Oh, solid team. It's definitely an interesting twist on Rain, and I really want to see what Pitch does with this. And he gets to punish Grundy week 1 for taking the overquill, which is definitely interesting. All right, 3 more to go. We have the Crocodile Crew, coached by Lucinderace, if it loads. Alright, this is where things get interesting. Holy, this team. Terapagos, Terra Water, Ogerpon, Sandy Shocks, which he traded for Gliscor in Grace. Darkrai, Enamorous, Heatran, Sneasel. And a little Sneasel is base 115 speed. What the? You have an NFE that's your second fastest mon. That's absolutely gross. You have Salamence, Nagastack, and Dusknoir. Dusknoir can be a Trick Room Metis or just a bulky team crippler. It's just annoying. All in all, the speed tiers are beautiful. Even with that 100 to 85, there's still not very many 90s that want to come in and try and break through this team or can break through the things that are slower than it. This team is a little earthquake weak, so they're going to have to work around that, which is why they have Enamorous and the Salamence, but they have to be careful of rock types just clicking that in their face. The good old rock move and smack. The removal just being Terapagos is just both good and bad, because Terapagos wants to be a breaker as well, or just be tunneled into Toxic or T-Wave support, or just rocks. So that is interesting. Priority, we've got Fake Out on the Sneasel. You got Sucker Punch and Darkrai. You got Shadow Sneak on the Dusknoir. That's alright. Momentum, though, is where this team absolutely gets hurt. I'm not going to give it a 1 because there's actually something, but we are at least going to give it points. Now, if it was just like a U-turner here and not like a consistent mon like Volt Switch on the Sandy Shocks, it'd be a 1. But we're just going to give it benefit of the doubt and give this a 2. Hazards are definitely interesting. This is going to be... because there are a couple mons that realistically won't come, I am just going to give this that. And we are going to give... We're going to give them that score. Alright. Final 2 teams before we cut out. We've already been at this for an hour, but there's also more things to say with these teams because there's new coaches. But we have Quick Dart, who changed a lot of their team in Grace. But Petrarunt is bugged. I don't know why. But it's 88 speed, I believe. It's supposed to be up here above the Braviary. So 123, 108, 98, 88, 80, 65, 61, 60, 50, and 42. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. Because you have the sand mode, you have the speed booster crown, you've got webs. All in all, very good. Team's very bulky. You can do quite a bit. Braviary's nothing to sweep on. Our defending champ, Fist, who couldn't participate this season, did absolute field day with Braviary. Like 9 kills, 3 deaths on a mon that came to 3 games. It's just ridiculous. Priority, we have Aqua Jet, we have Vacuum Wave, we have Sucker Punch, We have... That's it. We're going to get that benefit of the doubt. Removal is Sand Slash and the Braviary. In Sand, Rapid Spin is very good. Braviary as a Terror Captain is going to want to be offensive, so that can be a tiny bit of a hindrance. Momentum is where this team gets interesting. We have triple U-turn, Volt Switch, double Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. The other two are bugged. We are gonna give that the benefit of the doubt. And hazards. Man, this is very good hazard-wise. We're going to give that a very, very decent score. Oh no. Very good team. Very bulky, very fat, and can exploit your opponent's team, wear them down to where Iron Crown can come in and just end the game. Oh no, you did very good, Quick Dart, for the excessive amount of snipes you had. And we are going to hop on into the last team. We have Lazy Boy, our wheel. This is definitely an interesting team because there's double psychic types, which is alright because one of them's part fairy. That is your magic bounce is technically removal, so it does get a little bit of a buff besides Hitmon top. But momentum is definitely interesting for this team as well. You have quad U-turn, Volt Switch, 3 Baton Pass, and Flip Turn. Very, very good. But here's where this team, I think, personally gets interesting. You have 130, 119, 110, 101, 95, and then this speed drop of 70, 71, 60, 60, and 29. Those pieces are all fat. Those pieces are all consistent, and they can actually be game changing. A lot of the stuff that's slow is going to break things for the fast boys, but you gotta be able to consistently and reliably do it. But this overall is a very good team. That drop between 95 and 71 can both help and hurt them, so I have to be logical with this points for this speed. Priority is where this gets interesting as well. You have Aqua Jet, you have Quick Attack, you have Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, Fake Outs. And all in all, pretty decent. And then hazards. You have triple Stealth Rocks, Spikes, and T-Spikes. That's also very decent, very reliable. But tunneling the any of those rockers into rocks is a gamble. Empoleon needs to run certain sets, so it's not always going to be the rocker. And there's going to be games where Sandaconda can't remotely come. So it's going to be all on Uxie. But we'll see what Lazy Boy can do. All in all, still a very good team. And when we cut back to it, you guys are going to see the points ranked. So we will see you shortly. Alright, so this is where the scores ended up falling. We had quite a bit of ties, so I had to do them based off of like what was built stronger wise. Like that's how Router edged out KC and Lionel because the Broken Sun. Shamami outdid Calydude even though she has no removal. Which if she had removal, her team would be towards like the 17 or 18, but having none just gave her completely 0. So take these with a grain of salt. This is just harsh criticism. I took into account, is the momentum reliable or the hazards reliable based off what the mons are, which is how I came across these scores. But there is realistically no bad team. Every single team is good. You guys have a lot of stiff competition this year, regardless of these scores. So I wish you the best of luck. And wish you a fun and successful season to a lot of you guys. And yeah, just have fun. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy. I will catch you guys later. Peace.